This window, it haunts me. Every time I walk past it, I cringe. I've thought about covering it up.
I hate that window.
I hate this window.
I want to find out if we can patch it because it's so ugly and useless.
But some of you practically begged me not to, so fine, you win. Today I'm turning this eyesore into something actually beautiful, and over in my dark and moody bookcase corner, I'm fixing the lighting issue, but not with a basic lamp. Nope, I'm making books that glow. Trust me, it's gonna be cool.
I hate this window. It's ugly, it serves no purpose, and it feels completely out of place. Like you can't even put a curtain over it. It's that weird. And don't even get me started on nighttime. An uncovered window at night? Nope, absolutely not. So today, we're gonna fix that. So I posted a short a couple of months ago asking you guys if I should patch this window. And I was honestly very surprised to hear you guys say no. One of the people that commented actually had a really good idea as far as how I should handle this window or turn it into something pretty. It was Veronica Schroeder, so thank you, Veronica. She suggested making a faux stained glass window. Now, I already got the supplies for it, so that's what we're gonna be doing right now. So, like everything else on this channel, I have never done this before, so I'm honestly just gonna figure it out as I go. So the idea here is I got myself a bunch of acrylic sheets from Home Depot, and what I'm going to be doing is cutting them kind of down to size, at least in width. And then I think I'm just going to glue them together in height, if that makes sense. I don't know if that actually makes any sense, but you guys will get the point in a second here. I should probably go remeasure the window. It is 7 inches. So I kind of already watched some brief videos on how I should cut this plastic, and they say that I am supposed to take an X-Acto knife like this and allegedly just score it several times, and then it should snap. All right, well, apparently that was a fail. So I'm just gonna say f it, and I'm gonna take it downstairs and just cut it in half with the miter saw. That was significantly easier. I don't think that I could have cut it with that knife. So I'm not even gonna lie, during that process, one of them kind of cracked, but that's okay. Maybe it will add character, hopefully. Now I'm gonna glue these ones together, but this is like pieces that these are pieces that I don't need. So I'm just gonna test it out on these. And how long does this say it takes to dry? Shake vigorously to mix ingredients. I didn't do that. I probably should have mixed it. Then tap gel into nozzle prior to use. That would have been helpful to know that I was like, supposed to do that. All right, well, I'm gonna leave this for a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to print out my template. So it is finally happening. These shelves are coming out. Oh, finally. Okay, so now that I have my sheets of paper for the stencil, I guess you could call it, now I'm just going to cut off these little bits on the end because it needs to be able to overlap properly. So this side didn't stick or dry. As you can see, it's sort of, and it's been 30 minutes. So I tried something different on this side. I researched it, and it turns out I have to do some light sanding, but apparently that's not enough because I'm dealing with acrylic and it's like really dry and not porous. You have to mist one side of it with water, and then it activates the chemical process, which is a little unusual. Okay, now it's time to glue. So it is the next day. I just woke up and I am going to be stained glass windowing, we're gonna be making stained glass windows today. The seams from the glue are not the prettiest thing, but that's okay because I'm going to be painting over it. So hopefully that sort of like blends things out and the pattern will be distracting so you can't really tell. These are the seams. So they're very visible right now, but I think that when I put down the pattern, it won't be so much. Okay, so generally speaking, I'm not really a fan of stained glass windows. I think that there are some that can be really beautiful, but at least with the ones that I was finding online, because I was originally going to just buy film to put over my window to make it look like a stained glass window. And then ultimately I decided against that because the ones that I found online, I just really did not like. But there was one exception to this. There was a guy on Etsy who sold these beautiful stained glass window film sets, whatever it is. Ultimately, I did not end up going with his product, and the only reason really for that was because he only sells them in squares, and my window is a very long, kind of obscure rectangle. So it just wasn't gonna work for those intents and purposes. But I absolutely love that design. And now this design that I have here is his design. But what I ended up doing was I just went on to Canva. I sort of reformatted the size, cropped it so that it would work with my particular project. I can link his product down below though if anyone's interested in purchasing it from him. I'm not sponsored to say that, I just really like his design for window film. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to take this gallery glass paint, and this is called leading. This is the black stuff that's gonna make the outline for the stained glass effect. And then I also bought a bunch of, oh, these aren't just the only ones, I have more, but no, lost the cap. This is a disaster already. Okay, so I got these other colored ones by Gallery Glass as well. And basically it's a stained glass window paint so that it can create that like stained glass effect. So that's the leading. I just put that on there, that's still wet. And here is one of the stained glass colors I put on there the other night, so it's nice and dry, but that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so now that I am done with the leading, the black thing where you trace, whatever, the bottom half is dry or close enough to it. And so I'm gonna go in now with my paints and actually color it in. I'm so excited. So now that I'm done painting it, I'm just gonna stick it outside in the sun to try and get it to dry a little faster. So side note, I was in search of a new pair of coveralls. And now I love my blue coveralls that I use for like painting and plastering and all that stuff. They're great, but sometimes I want a little more like flexibility and freedom. So I decided to get pink overalls because I thought, why not? They're cute, they're fun, and it is now my Rose Renovations uniform. It's like a pink minion, like a bubblegum minion, like Patrick Star. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Patrick. All right, it is the moment of truth. All right, so the way that I measured this is it's a little bit larger because there's a lip where it kind of looks like another window would have gone, but didn't. And then there's the same one down here. So my idea is that I could slide it into the lip and that way I don't have to mount it to anything. So I really hope that I calculated that properly. I think it looks significantly better. Ta-da! What do you think?
I think it's great.
You think it's better than what it was before?
Absolutely.
I think we should check it out outside. You can't see inside.
Yeah.
Cool. So this corner, no lighting. Unless you count the overhead lighting, which I don't because it's really harsh and depressing. Or the TV glow, which is basically useless unless I want my house to feel like a horror movie. I need to make this space cozy. And now, I couldn't just get a lamp like a normal person because that would be too easy. So today we're going to be making book lamps. That's right, books that glow. It's gonna be f***ing awesome. Now let's go make them. I saw these book lamps online that I really liked. The problem is that they don't really sell them anymore, and the ones that you can get are resaled at like $200 a piece. So rather than paying that much out the ass, I decided to make it myself. And now I follow Lone Fox Home on YouTube, and he actually tested this out and it worked for him. So I'm going to try his method and see if I can't make my own. So I went to the used bookstore and I came across these books here. I thought that the spine was really nice, possibly for a lamp. Not only that, but I wanted something that I was not likely to read or anyone else. This is sort of like the summarized version of classic stories. So like it has Alice in Wonderland within like 10 pages. And truth be told, if I wanted to read Alice in Wonderland, I just read the whole story. There's no point in me keeping a book of summaries. So I'm gonna use these ones. It's crazy to see a book binding up close. Not gonna lie, that was insanely easy to cut. I'm honestly pretty shocked. So at this point, now that I have my book spines, I'm gonna cut these down to size, but I have these 2x2 dowels that fit shockingly perfectly into this spine. I'm really surprised about that. So anyways, I'm gonna cut a couple of these dowels just to glue it into this book to give it support for my lamp. Okay, so now I have my wooden blocks. So I should just be able to glue these down and stick it to the book, in theory. Okay, well that didn't stick. So we'll try something else. I was honestly trying to avoid having to use wood glue just because it takes a long time to dry and I don't have a ton of time, but it's looking like that's my only option right now, so. And now I gotta wait like 6 hours for that. All right, so now that the books are dry, this is the fun part. Now I have my lamp here, and basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to disassemble it. So I just want the base of this, so I'm just gonna unscrew this. And and pull this out. Now my wires I have access to. And what I'm gonna do, just so that I don't get screwed up, is I'm gonna take a piece of tape and wrap it around the wires that I know need to go together. All right, now I have to take this off of the post. So now I have to drill a hole in my book. Whoops. And I found a drill bit that was close enough to this. I was like, that looks about right. On this little hole. All right, now that there's a hole there, push my sconce through here, and there's this little, like, it's galvanized here, so I figure just screw it in there. And now it's in. Okay, now I'm just gonna hardwire everything back together. So, green wire with green wire. All right, now that those are nice and snug and not going anywhere, let's stuff that cord in there. Now I can just take my lampshade here and attach it. I almost forgot I need a light bulb. And now we're done. I just have to plug it in and test it out. It's a moment of truth to see if I know how to wire things properly. Holy shit, it worked. I mean, of course it worked. Okay, I'm just gonna go make the other one real quick and then have it hang up there so that you guys can get the full look. Let there be light. Both of them work. I'm shocked by that. I gotta be honest with you, it's still trippy as for me that like is legitimately a lamp that's coming out of a book. It was like 40, 50 bucks for 2 wall sconces plus some cheap vintage books that I got at a used bookstore. I saved hundreds of dollars doing it myself rather than going online and purchasing the ones that cost, I think they're like 200 bucks each or something like that. Instead, just made my own. Yeah.
Overall, I am so surprised at how well these projects turned out. I kept waiting for it to hit the fan like it usually does, and that just never came. Now I have solved my lighting problem, and my window is covered from whatever creepy goes on outside. If you're interested in videos like the one you're watching now, then this video here might be worth a watch.